Speaking of a level of trauma, now that this is your girls recorded, let's go ahead. Let's keep these damn reactions going. So, Maddie Balls, shout outs to you. How one post ruined this rapper's whole career. So, without further ado, y'all, let's get into this next video. Y'all, let's do it.
About a year after Mac Miller passed away from a drug overdose, an artist by the name of Goldlink made a tribute post to Mac. But
This is Goldlink? Oh no, and I really like Goldlink too. What did he do?
it wasn't like any other tribute post, because the entire post came off as extremely disrespectful to Mac Miller and his legacy, especially since Mac wasn't even alive to respond to it. This sent everyone on the internet into a fit of rage that was so devastating to Goldlink's career that he doesn't even release music anymore. But to understand why Goldlink did this and the type of backlash he received, we have to understand a little bit about his relationship with Mac Miller. I also think it's important to understand that you can get a free legendary and 2 epic heroes along with the free gaming console. You heard me right, I'm talking about a free console. And a bunch of other things like Amazon gift cards with a total value of $10,000. And a login program, you can get legendary that you're missing out. So make sure to click my link down in the description or scan the QR code. The other ones were taken and my friend helped me choose the name. But make sure to join so we can go crazy on Raid Shadow Legends together. Now let's get back to the video.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Goldlink is a rapper who released his first and breakthrough mixtape, The God Complex, in 2014, which was highly rated by outlets like Spin, Pitchfork, Clash, and more. He got into touch with Rick Rubin, who executively produced Goldlink's next mixtape, After That We Didn't Talk. This allowed Goldlink to get a solid amount of buzz. And then he got into contact with Mac Miller. There isn't a ton of information on Mac Miller and Goldlink's relationship, but the most public aspect of it is when Mac Miller brought him on his Good AM tour in 2015, along with artists like EarthGang, Damogenesis, and more. This tour really helped bring a lot of eyes to Goldlink, and many fans of Mac Miller became fans of Goldlink. One thing that was clear about Mac Miller is he seemed like a really good guy, and it seemed like he wanted to show his fans some really good music that he enjoyed. Many of his relationships were public and friendly, and most fans were aware of how good of a guy Mac Miller seemed to be. Mac even made Goldlink a cake after being on the tour. Pitchfork said, he helped introduce just about every young rapper he came into contact with to a bigger audience, including Goldlink. Miller always seemed to find a way to be in close proximity to the artists he loved, either bigging them up or putting them on. Goldlink even said himself that Mac Miller was one of the first artists to put him on.
Without Mac Miller, there would be no Goldlink. He was the first. I'm gonna tell you two things that helped me out. The first that ever even looked my way was Pusha T. The second person was Wale, and the third person was Mac motherfucking Miller. Okay.
It was around this time that Mac Miller began working on his next studio album, The Divine Feminine. Released in 2016, the album was a lot smoother, with less rapping, more singing, and more melodic. He had topics about women and love, which was a bit different from most of his previous material. Mac gave a few reasons as to why he went that route.
Like my perspective on love and kind of like adoration towards a female, you know what I mean? Like that love story, and it's not like there's just no like negativity involved in it. There's not like there's pain, but there's not like an angry breakup song or anything like that. It's just very like sacred towards the female.
I'm pretty sure he also said one time that he made the album because he saw too many guys at his show and not enough girls, but I can't remember the interview, so let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Regardless, this album was a huge success, debuting at
my father's calling me. Hold on. Okay. Alrighty. I'll call you back once it is I'm done. Okay. Bye, Dad. Oh, that's my daddy. My dad called me, you know what I'm saying? He's out in China right now on a trip. You know what I mean? So he'll be there until like Monday. So I'll call him once it is that I'm done. All right, W Dad for sure.
At number 2 on the
W
Billboard
Dad.
200 and having songs like Dang go platinum. But Goldlink had a problem with this album, one that he wouldn't reveal until 3 years later. In the meantime, Goldlink saw a solid amount of success, releasing his third mixtape, At What Cost. He had features from artists like
Oh
Steve
my God,
Lacy,
and this is
Wale, K Tronada.
this is where it is. A lot of people figured out who Crew Link was because of Crew. This song right here. Crew did what it was supposed to do. And Steve Lacy is another one that I got put on to Steve Lacy. Shy Glizzy. They was out in Maryland to shoot the video for Crew. You know, this literally had so many fucking bangers, man. Fudge.
And more. It peaked at 127 on the Billboard 200, which isn't too bad for a smaller artist, and it even went gold. The song Crew from that project featuring Shy Glizzy and Brent Faiyaz became a huge hit, and even eventually went 7 times platinum. But then something happened that not only changed Goldlink's life, but many people's lives in the hip-hop community. On September 7th of 2018, Mac Miller was found dead in his home after a drug overdose. He was known to have struggled with drugs. It's evident in his music, but his death still shook the world. His streams shot up 970%, thousands of fans hosted a vigil at Blue Slide Park in Pittsburgh, and many celebrities offered their condolences. Future, Chance the Rapper, John Mayer, DJ Khaled, Jaden Smith, Shawn Mendes, Victoria Justice, J. Cole, Ariana Grande,
Especially
and many
Ariana.
more people mourned his death online. It was clear what a positive impact Mac Miller had left on people, and just how loved he was by everyone in the community. Schoolboy Q, a good friend of his, explained it well in an interview.
To this day, I don't understand how I can't call no more. Like, innocent soul, like losing a friend to gang banging is way different from losing a friend that's like.
Yeah, they dated
innocent
before.
Little kid that's just super pure. Like.
Everyone was upset about Mac's death, including Goldlink. He did an interview with Colors after Mac's passing and shouted him out for being one of the first people to put him on.
Mac was a person who actually believed in me when nobody else did at a time. Like, that was around the same time as I did the first Colors. That was 2015. He's like, hey, why don't you come on? That was like my first hip-hop look.
But there was a jealousy and resentment brewing in Goldlink's heart that led to a career-shattering Instagram post that he made in 2019.
Oh no.
A year after Mac Miller passed away, Goldlink made a post on Instagram that was sort of an open letter to his old pal Mac. Goldlink said, "I'd be lying if I said I was surprised to hear that you died on us. Not because you were necessarily troubled, but because you were special, and because of that, you were troubled." Already, he ruffled some feathers by essentially
That
saying,
first
"I
sentence.
expected you to die," which is just a really odd comment, but somehow it got worse. "I think what made you and I special is that we weren't always on the best terms, so I didn't always have great things to say about you. When we were on the Good AM tour, I played you my album, and after that we didn't talk, and you thought it was absolutely incredible. I released it under the Soulection label, and the single for my album was called Unique featuring Anderson .Paak, and that was your favorite song at the time. I always thought you drove yourself insane about your own music. So much that you would adopt styles as homage to those around you that you loved. That's where our problem started. Divine Feminine was an actual blueprint of And After That We Didn't Talk. Your single was called Dang, featuring Anderson .Paak. You had Soulection support you on the Divine Feminine tour, and when I tried to contact you about anything at all, you never hit me. A close mutual friend ended up just hitting my DJ saying, 'Listen man, we love Link, but we just had to do what we had to do.' And Max said if he ever needs a verse at any time, he got him. Afterwards, we seen each other at Coachella, and you put your head down like an innocent child. But I told you to pick it up, and I hugged you like the brother you are to me. You were the first person brave enough to openly say he's dope, and gave me a platform. That meant more to me than anything else. 3 days before you died, I remember pulling up on you at the crib, walking in the house and seeing the Divine Feminine album plaque on the wall. I was so proud of you and what you created for yourself, and I'm forever grateful for that." This post sent
I don't know what that is, but it's just not. It comes off a little backhanded. That post comes off a little backhanded. Like I like it, if you guys wasn't like rocking with each other like that at one point, I don't think, me personally, I don't think that matters, because of the fact that is that Mac is not here to defend himself, let alone like, you know, to just speaking on that. And the first sentence was kind of contradictory within itself because it's like, oh, like you're not a troubled person, you're special, and that's what makes you troubled. So it's that that's a bad move. That's a really bad move. And now looking at that is like, yeah, nah. Like he could have worded it better, but some things it is you just should have just left out, to be honest. To be quite frank, you should have just left out that certain information on there because that's not a good look. Right. He should have kept it in the drafts. He should have.
Everyone into a frenzy. Understandably so. GoldLink was essentially taking credit for one of Mac Miller's albums, saying he was proud of him as if he was some sort of big brother and huge inspiration, and he straight up accused him of stealing. Not to mention, this was 3 years after the album came out and 1 year after Mac Miller passed away, so he couldn't even respond to these allegations.
That this post was inspired by pure jealousy, blind rage and hatred for another man and the success that he had, right? Because if Mac Miller hadn't been the name that he was, I don't think GoldLink would have ever been upset that deeply. I don't think he would have been. How much of a narcissist do you have to be to turn someone dying into your moment to prop yourself up as if you are some sort of genius that needed to be stolen from, and you in the same post act like you're the bigger man for somewhat forgiving him and quote unquote being proud of him as if you helped him reach his level of success?
Like GoldLink admitted, Mac Miller opened up his fan base to him, so many of GoldLink's fans were originally fans of Mac. So clearly, even GoldLink's own fan base was going to be very upset about this. GoldLink used a picture from the last day I ever saw Mac Miller, I think from his last photo shoot in life, to kick up some questionable stuff over a year after the kid passed and can't even respond. And I can't even wrap my head around the logic that would tell someone to do this. This dude low-key said Mac copied his style for an album because of a Pac feature, but in the end tried to make it look like he was proud of him. Weirdo. GoldLink's post was so upsetting that not only fans responded, but it prompted a fellow friend of Mac and collaborator Anderson .Paak to respond. He said, at GoldLink, I would imagine your weird ass posted up somewhere just like this when you decided to make that disrespectful, narcissistic, jealous, grossly unnecessary post. Why would you do it? I can't even understand it. Since you felt it necessary to bring me up twice, and my boy ain't here to respond, I'ma say it like this. You ain't the first to make an album inspired by a relationship. You ain't the first to make a song featuring Anderson .Paak, but you are the first to disrespect my friend who is no longer here for absolutely no reason, and I can't stand for that. Anderson .Paak continued to say how this really upset him, and that GoldLink wouldn't respond to any of his messages, so he decided to make a public post in response. He continued, if Divine Feminine was such a blueprint of your record, then tell me where the plaques are for whatever your shit was called. Mac brought your ass on tour and opened up his fan base to you when you had nothing, and this is the type of appreciation you give? You should have just been grateful for the opportunity. Whatever issues you had with Mac should have been addressed in person and ended there. What's the point of bringing this up after his passing and disrespecting his name? Some things simply have nothing to do with you, but when you have a god complex, I'm sure it's easy to think everything comes from you or was inspired in some way. Anderson .Paak perfectly explained how everyone else felt about the situation, expressing just how disrespectful and weird it was to make a post like that about a dead man. One fan said, when Anderson .Paak goes off on you, you know you wrong. He the happiest / chillest dude ever. Like I said earlier, stealing from friends and fellow artists is something out of Mac Miller's character, and many people were upset GoldLink even suggested this. Vince Staples even said that Mac refused to take royalties from any of their collabs.
He didn't want no publish. He said, if you make $1 million, buy me a S-Class Benz or something like that. He
publishing off the beats he made?
Yeah, the whole project. He gave me ownership of it.
That's dope.
He just said, if you make a gang of money, just give me like an S-Class. Wow. And then took me on the road. I paid for my room and board and still paid me. So yeah, you know, that was the homie. He did a lot.
So obviously this accusation upset many fans and friends of Mac Miller. With all of the outrage, GoldLink attempted to respond at a show shortly after.
Tell you something. The whole post that I made about Mac Miller was about love and that can actually be brothers. It wasn't about stealing. I never used the word copy. I never used the word steal.
You could have worded that differently.
The thing is, Mac Miller wrote all of Divine Feminine. That was a great album.
However, despite his best efforts, people weren't having it. One fan wrote, best friends don't give backhanded compliments to dead best friends. TMZ even posted an article saying that he was backtracking. And he was. He knew what he was saying, as did all the fans. and there was no going back from it. About 3 weeks later, GoldLink made a post on his alternate Instagram account where he said, "I remember getting a call that I was culturally canceled after I posted something about a friend that died due to an overdose on his own couch. I laughed. I thought the attempt was quite cute, actually." So not only did GoldLink disrespect the dead, but then he started acting like he was some evil anime antagonist. Anyways, he just continued on to tell a story about how close he was with Mac and how they hung out right before he died. But comments like these did not help, and fans made that evident. Even this comment on its own pisses me off. Overdose on his own couch. I don't know why, but that just pisses me off. You're sharing too many details about shit you shouldn't be speaking about. The GoldLink hate train was already full steam ahead.
I agree.
Shortly after the controversy,
you know, and on top of that too, like let's put this in this perspective. Like, being a former criminal justice major, and then doing this study of narcotics and all the levels of drugs and what it does, how it affects people's mindset, the brain, relationships with other people, what things people will do to get these narcotics. May I add, it is that I know people who struggle with substance. You know what I mean? So it's already a touchy subject as it is, because fortunately with Mac, DMX was another rapper that had like an overdose, or that led to an overdose. Whitney Houston was another person. Even the actor from Euphoria died from overdose with substance abuse. So this is already a sensitive conversation to talk about as it is anyway. So the fact of like you're kind of being like, oh, overdose on his couch and everything like that stuff, it is like that's insensitive. It's a little, and that's very tone deaf, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Some things it is like it's already bad enough. It's already bad enough to where it is like, you know, people are struggling with those type of things. And I see why it is that people would not fuck with GoldLink like that anymore, because that is a little harsh. You're backpedaling. You said all that tone deaf shit about what dude, and then now you're trying to like switch it up and like, oh yeah, Juice World too. Yeah, Juice World too. So that's why it's like, look, I have a lot of sympathy when it comes down to that, because I know how hard it is that can be, um when it is that you have a struggle with something within that line, and you know it is like you know that it's bad, you know it is like it's affecting you, it's affecting everything that's around you, and it does lead to some people's demise. But that, again, I think just speaking on someone's death like that, and then kind of using the, oh well, you know, I'm proud of you because of this project, it is like, you know, as if like it came off wrong. It did come off a little wrong. You just don't talk about the dead. Yeah, like you just don't speak upon the dead. This is why I had an issue with the whole, when y'all delusional fucking Nicki fans that keep speaking on Megan's mother, regardless of how it is that you feel about what this woman is like. This mother is her, like Megan's mother is not here to defend herself. Why are we speaking on the dead? You know what I mean? I wholeheartedly believe in spirits. I believe in that. So for you to be going ahead and speaking about this and speaking about the dead, they're not in this physical essence anymore. Why? I don't understand that. Like, just keep it to what it is. Like, you could have did a nice little long, lengthy appreciation of saying how much it is that, you know, you love Mac. You know, I miss you, bro. And like, I still couldn't believe it is that this happened. Something like that, and it would have been fine. But like, you just kind of just your own career because you wanted to go ahead and do all this extra shit. It's not necessary.
In January of 2020, he posted a video to Instagram of him performing in Johannesburg with the caption, "Cancelled feels nice." After that, though, he started canceling shows and slowly fading away from the public eye. On top of that, the pandemic happened, which definitely didn't help his career out at all. Despite only 3 releases in 2020, one of which was called Best Rapper in the World. He came back with an album called Haram in 2021. After releasing the lead single, he sent some shots at Sheck West to rehash some previous beef and possibly to promote the album. Regardless, people weren't huge on this next project. This MF recording on a drive-through speaker. How does he go from At What Cost to this? This is what you hear if you get sleep paralysis in the club. Sure, people's disdain from him after the Mac comments may have swayed public opinion, but his career was going downhill. Not only that, but he got like zero press for the album release. I was only able to find 2 super small interviews he did to promote the album, and that was it. It's likely that after his comments about Mac Miller, a beloved figure in the music industry, that GoldLink was blackballed by many people in the industry. The lack of press is evident in how poorly the album performed. It didn't chart, most songs didn't crack 1 million plays, and I can't even find the first week sales, which is crazy in comparison to his previous album, which had a lot of great reviews and performed much better. Regardless, after that, GoldLink pretty much fell off the face of the earth. Besides a retweet on his Twitter and a song he featured on in 2023, he's been gone. Even his website was shut down. His Instagram comments are turned off, likely from all the hate he was receiving, and it seemed like his career was going to be entirely over. That was until I saw that he featured on The Front Porch about a month ago, along with a small interview. He's grown a beard and grew out his hair, so maybe he's changing up his style, trying to put the drama behind him and start anew. It's likely that GoldLink thought maybe disappearing for a while would have got a lot of the heat off of him, but based on how people still bring up this incident to this day, it's likely that his career will be ruined forever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please make sure to leave a like, and if you liked it a lot, maybe subscribe down below. Other than that, this has been Matty Balls, and I'll see you guys next time.
Shit, even like Brother Nature, when he got his ass kicked in Florida, they still bring that shit up. Niggas don't forget, bro. And them niggas will still to this day will be in the comments and be like, hey, listen, this nigga must have thought of this. We forgot. We ain't forget, nigga. You know? Some people don't forget. And it's shocking to me it is that he would do something like this, because I like GoldLink. I liked his music. You know what I mean? Like he had a really, like, his songs was very good. But to do something like this, it's like, come on, gang. Come on. What you're gonna need in order to do something to fix this up is like, wait, hold on. Oh. There you go. Sorry, I was taking my probiotic. What he's gonna need to do to fix this up is that he needs a completely new team, a completely new PR team. You know what I'm saying? Some people to go ahead and pull his coat and be like, hey, listen, like, you know, this is what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do this, and this in order to fix everything up. Now, do I feel like it is that he could able to eventually recover from this? Possibly, yeah. You know what I mean? It's just a bad PR move that he did, and what caused the demise of this. But it also depends on the consumers, us, the people, if we are willing to be like, hey, listen, you know, we'll give him another shot. There's been plenty of people it is that has been canceled and allegedly canceled, and we're still rocking with them, you know what I mean, and their content or their videos, so, or their music. So it really depends on who it is that he's surrounded by, and how they go ahead and fix the damage control it is that has happened. But Matty Balls, thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to you, gang. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.